All right, Joe Leigh here, 4 Seconds Out. Happy to be joined by Eddie Hearn once again, fresh from America. But I guess these days it kind of goes without saying. How are you?
Good, mate. We spoke yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, very briefly about Canelo, and I kind of want to talk about that again. Yeah, the deal signed. Just how delighted are you with it?
Yeah, massively. Canelo Alvarez, biggest star in the sport. So obviously to sign him to Matchroom was a big moment for the company, big moment for me personally, because I have a lot of respect for the man. I know it's a bit of a running joke that of our love affair, but I think he's an amazing fighter, a great person. I love his energy. He motivates me in other areas of my life as well. So it's good to be around winners. And Canelo Alvarez, one of the biggest winners in the sport.
In kind of order of your priorities, where is conquering America? Because obviously you've kind of conquered UK, but is it more important now the American shows and kind of getting the Canelo?
Globally is important. I don't look at any particular market and say we must dominate there. We want to be consistent around the world in key markets. We're the only promotional company that is personally staging events around the world right now. And America is a massive market. And people were quick to try and wish on our demise, but we're 3 years in now in America and we're in a great position. We've got the #1 star in the sport. You just saw in San Diego last week, another great show, huge crowd. We're really building tremendous momentum there. And it's about consistency. Everything's about consistency. And it's about building our brand and giving fight fans around the world value for money via Dazn and in the arena. And when you look at our schedule, it's back-to-back every week. It's nothing like it in boxing. And I know people like to criticise, but show me anyone that can lace our boots. No one. And people might think that's arrogant, but it's the truth. Tell me who's doing anything like us globally right now. And this week, obviously, we've got 10,000 in Nottingham. Next week, you've got Michael McKinson going for gold against Virgil Ortiz. The week after, you've got Josh Warrington, 11,000 in Leeds against Kiko Martinez. The week after that, we're in Barcelona. Then you've got Gennady Golovkin against Murata in Japan. Then you've got Conor Benn at Manchester Arena. Then you've got Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano at Madison Square Garden. Week after that, you've got Canelo against Bivol at the T-Mobile. Then you've got AJ's return. But it's like I keep saying, consistency. And that's something you've got to look for in your life and in business. Consistency. If you're consistent and you're good at what you do and you do the right things and you make the right choices, you'll get there.
Was it more important for you to land the Canelo deal than to get the White Fury fight?
Yeah. I mean, it's different. Again, different markets. Like, I would love to have promoted White against Fury, but at the right price. And, once you didn't get it. But for our long-term plan and position in America, yeah, the Canelo signing was much, much bigger than that for us. But again, I would love to have promoted White Fury.
Canelo Bivol, just thoughts on the fight, and why was that the first fight you wanted to make?
Because he wants to face champions and he wants to dethrone them. It's one thing he loves to do. When you look at his run, it's incredible. Danny Jacobs for the IBF middleweight world title, Sergey Kovalev for the WBO light heavyweight world title, Callum Smith for the WBA and Ring Magazine, Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO title, Caleb Plant for the IBF. He's taking all those belts, and now he steps up again to try and take the WBA light heavyweight world championship.
Obviously, for that fight in America, it's going to be on pay-per-view. Why is that? Obviously, considering DAZN originally said they would kill it.
Because yesterday's price is not today's price with Canelo Alvarez. And, his star power has risen so greatly that the only way that you can compete with the offers coming in from Fox and Showtime is to use the pay-per-view model. So it's a one-off for their platform. They're still providing incredible value as a subscription service, and that's what they are. They're not looking to do loads of pay-per-view events like everybody else, but also understand that for Canelo Alvarez or for Joshua against Usyk or those just one-off fights, they will have to have that functionality to compete with those numbers.
How likely is it that the DAZN pay-per-view model comes to the UK eventually?
Only if the fight's there. And I've just told you the fights. If it's Anthony Joshua, it will be on DAZN pay-per-view. If it's anything else, unless it's a fight that does, the model really is that the pay-per-views that we were doing consistently on Sky should sit on the DAZN platform as part of your subscription. Chisora Parker, great example of that, was a pay-per-view on Sky Sports, then it was part of your subscription on Sky Sports. Then you've got the bigger pay-per-views. I'm talking about the 800s and the 900s, which don't really exist anymore. But I'm talking about White Fury would have been pay-per-view. AJ against Usyk would be pay-per-view, or any AJ fight. But really, there isn't a lot of other fights out there that would be DAZN pay-per-view in the UK. One-off fights or AJ fights. And that's not the focus. Actually, we don't want to do any. But we understand that we need to provide that functionality for these one-off superstars. And the plan is just to keep providing consistent value for money for subscribers.
So AJ's interim fight will be on Dazn pay-per-view.
No. We're talking to Sky. Obviously, we had a great relationship with them. They're probably the front runner right now to extend that contract, but we're in negotiations with them. We're in negotiations with Dazn, with other platforms as well. So we'll see what happens when we announce the fight.
And just quickly, do you have an opponent that's most likely? Is it Otto Wallin, Joe Joyce, Deontay Wilder? Is there some?
For me, I would like him to face a southpaw because he's fighting Alexander Usyk. So whether that's Luis Ortiz, Otto Wallin, these guys, but he also likes the Wilder fight, the Joyce fight, like loads of other fights. But you can be rest assured it will be a top name. You know, he's not going to fight someone who has no value. So we shall see.
A couple more things, just quickly. Is Angel Fernandez going to be the main man in his corner?
Yeah, I think AJ will announce officially once camp's up and running. I'm sure there'll be some additional additions to the team as well.
The YouTube boxing fight happened last week. Obviously, AJ was there, Derek Chisora as well. What can you learn from those kind of events? Although it was a bit of a mess at times.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just madness, isn't it? I mean, I was approached this week about one via Chunks, who I know, and it was the rematch of Fate. Yeah.
He got the decision. They overturned it yesterday.
It was a decent fight, I don't know. But Chunks sort of said to me, look, do the rematch. And I said, I think my days doing those things are over, but do you want to do it? And he's like, well, I don't know. Let's talk. Because I see the attraction, but my heart's not in it. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to be a fake where I'm standing out there selling this YouTube fight where really my heart's not in it. So, but I don't mind someone else doing it on the Dazn platform if it means it's going to bring in a load of subscribers. So we'll talk to Chunks and we'll see. You can clip that one out. It'll do well.
Yeah. What was the conversation like?
He just messaged me and said, did you see this unbelievable fight? You've got to do the rematch. And I just said, we don't, YouTube boxing, I've done it. It's not really for me. But I said, look, you could promote it. I'll support you from the side, but I'm not going to be up there around those guys because it's not something I'm passionate about. And I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it for the money. I want to be involved with things I love to do and I actually have a passion about. That's when I'm good at my job, is when I'm selling something I believe in. So
is this it? Eddie Hearn officially retiring from YouTube boxing?
Never say never, but for now.
Unless it's Jake Paul.
Yeah, possibly.
He's got his own MVP now.
Yeah. It's not YouTube boxing anymore, so.
Appreciate your time.